What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the tower. So today I'm just gonna be doing a perks guide, just for like the current version, like just talking about like where they're good. I guess mostly just for, like farming and milestones. There'll probably be a few that are like pretty good in certain situations that will be more specific, but I think most of them will be pretty general. And Crowbar Zero and I will be sharing our progress in a few days in a video, so yeah, be on the lookout for that. So I'll just use the band perks screen just to show all of them. So yeah, health perk. Of course, this is really gonna be only be good with your if you're hybrid or EHP. You can make health builds work for like milestones for like tier 14, 15, but it's still pretty hard. Like it's just not as effective as some of the other tiers. That would just be for milestones. Even like farming in like tier 12 and 13, it's like really hard to get good value out of health. So yeah, this is super good for farming though in lower tiers. And then this is going to be the same for like the health regen and the defense perk. I'll talk a little bit more about health regen though, because it's a little bit different. So damage perk. I'm pretty sure this is good in like all builds. This helps with like keeping your death wave up. It helps it last longer. So yeah, I think this is like a little bit different compared to like health in that way, because yeah, damage can still be really helpful even if you rely on EHP to survive. Yeah, these common perks are gonna be pretty like simple, I would say. They're gonna get more complicated in like the purple perks, the trade-offs, just because they do like really specific things. Health regen. The difference between this and the health perk is that this is not really going to be used for milestones at all. This is only farming. It's just not going to help you at all. It just doesn't scale enough. It's really not going to help because you're only going to be able to survive a few hits in like tier 14 or 15 milestones. But yeah, this is super good for farming. And then coin perk, of course, this is going to be good always for farming. I mean, it doesn't matter for milestones at all. So I mean, yeah, that's just super simple. It's just a huge coin boost. So the bounce shot is interesting. I don't think this perk actually does that much. Increases your bounce shot targets, but if you already have max bounce shot targets, which is 8, without like the sub, you're not gonna get that many bounces that much. Just because it's a chance to happen like every single bounce, so you're really not gonna get that much value out of this. It might help like a tiny bit, but it's not gonna make a big difference. So this is really not that like it just doesn't really do anything. So yeah, that's kind of why I have it banned. And then same with interest. Interest is pretty much useless. Like enemy cash drops just outscale it. Like I think at my point it barely even helps. Like after like wave 10 or 20. Landmine damage? I don't think this really does that much either. Like landmines are just not that good for damage because I mean especially for farming and even for like milestones as long as you have like chain lightning or smart missile built. The only time this would be like actually useful is if you're like kind of relying on them for your damage because it does actually like multiply a lot. It's like 20x at max. So I mean, yeah, if you actually rely on landmines for damage, then yeah, this is a pretty good one. But otherwise, it's really not going to do anything. There's no downsides either. Same with these ones. So I mean, yeah, it's fine if you take them, if you just to get rid of them for other perks. And then orbs. This one I actually like this perk. I mean, you can't really use auto perk with it unless your orbs are like your kind of part of your main build. I actually am personally using orbs like for the entire run right now, so I actually wouldn't be fine with that. But I still don't use auto perk unless I'm doing like an overnight run. So yeah, this is still good after like in the end of your run when you have orbs on. Yeah, pretty nice like getting the kills as fast as possible at that point when you're at max spawns. Free up chance. I mean, yeah, this is super good if you're like using a free up build with like Black Hole Digester or something. But I mean, I can't run free upgrades. I don't have the mastery. I could definitely run it then. I mean, it still wouldn't make that much of a difference at all. But yeah, I mean, it's just pretty simple if you use free upgrades, and yeah, that's a super good one, especially now that they can go over 100%. Help for the Black Hole Digester. But yeah, if you don't use them, just don't take it or ban it. Either one. Defense percent. This goes the same thing with max health. Pretty much the same thing. Regen's different than both of them. Just because this is also useful. Helps a lot for milestones like that. Doesn't get outscaled at all like health regen does. Just because it's percent based. I mean, yeah, the 98% cap is really nice. Getting up to that high. Definitely helps you take a lot less damage. Perk wave requirement. Of course, this is the best one. Yeah, definitely just put this as your first perk. And then take it over everything else. Because, I mean, you just need it to be able to pick all the other perks. That one's pretty easy to tell how good it is. Random ultimate weapon, I can't actually get this perk anymore. But yeah, if you don't have all the ultimate weapons and you need them for an event mission, then that's pretty nice. I don't think they will really help too much without the labs, like for like milestones or something. But yeah, I mean, I guess like Golden Tower, it would be the main one that would be good by itself. For actual like farming or something. Over just event kills. Game speed is also really good. This is probably my priority, like after perk wave requirement. It's between that and the coin trade-off. But yeah, it's super good. You just get so much faster. It's like 20% faster. Just more cells and more coins. Yeah, it just gets you through your run faster. Really nice. Cash bonus. I don't actually think this one's that good, even though it's like a pretty nice bonus to cash. It can be good if you get them early, but like at one point you're just gonna like max everything and then it's gonna be useless, right? It's actually rare that I get like one of these when I'm still upgrading my skips. So yeah, I mean it's not that good, but I mean it can help sometimes. I guess it's not gonna make that much of a difference. Last common, defense absolute. This is pretty much useless as well because defense absolute is still a useless stat. It really doesn't do anything besides for like super early game in tier 1. I'm really surprised it hasn't got a buff at all. Yeah, I mean that's just a ban for me, or it doesn't really hurt you either though to take if you don't have the slots to ban it. All right, on to the green perks. The force smart missiles. It's pretty nice if you're like you killing stuff with your smart missiles, like you're in that phase here farming. Super good for milestones, just a bunch of extra damage. There's really no point to not take it. I think that kind of goes with most of the greens. So it doesn't really actively hurt you as long as you like have smart missiles off if you're like too early in the run. Swamp Radius, also pretty good for milestones. I don't use Poison Swamp in farming, so technically this doesn't really like affect farming in that way, but if you do, as long as you keep the stun off, it really doesn't matter. But you should have like max coverage even without it. The extra coverage is really, really nice for like milestones, so yeah, but if you don't have the stun on, then this could be bad because it could stun stuff like outside your black hole for farming at least. The +1 wave on Death Wave, super nice for farming as well. Helps you get some extra coin bonus if you're like in the end of your run on your like orb phase or something, and then you get a little bit more damage pool for your Death Wave. Just it's a really nice staff. Extra set of Inner Minds. This one's really good as well. This is probably one of the best greens. Super good for stunning, for milestones. I think it doesn't really have that much use in farming, but I mean it's so like okay I guess for like stopping race and farming from like shooting, just stunning them. Don't think it helps quite as much in farming if you like are using the wall over like glass cannon farming or something like a hybrid wall build. Yeah, it's still super nice. Golden Tower bonus is insanely good for farming. This is like a super big bonus. It's a very large multiplier. Yeah, definitely always take this for farming, and then milestones it doesn't really matter at all. Chain Lightning 2x damage is super good. Just because of how good Chain Lightning is now for most players. The 2x, it just multiplies your damage by 2 if you rely on Chain Lightning in that way. Yeah, it's super good for milestones and farming if you're in like a damage phase. Chrono Field Duration, this isn't really going to help you unless you don't have the 100% uptime on the Chrono Field yet. But yeah, I mean it does let you skip out on like a few levels for farming if you don't want to max it and save some stones. But I mean it's good to just get the duration of Chrono Field to 60, just to make sure you like always have it up and it will never drop if something were to go wrong or something like that. Black Hole Duration is also really good. This is super good for milestones as well. I think if you've seen my milestone video on the tier 18, this was like super vital for the Pulsar Harvester build. But yeah, I didn't get it there, but yeah, super good for milestones if you're trying it with Pulsar Harvester. And then also pretty good for farming, just to get extra black hole uptime, and then it allows you to get a permanent black hole if you're running like an uptime build for farming. There are a few endgame builds where you don't want to take this, but I mean I'm not even there at that point. So there's very few players that actually have to worry about that. I think you pretty much need like max Golden Tower duration for that to matter at least. I think in that case you would ban it. For everyone, pretty much, definitely just take this. Spotlight damage this is also super good. Just because it multiplies like all your damage pretty much if you have like a pretty good coverage spotlight, 1.5x. It's pretty basic. I mean, yeah, it just helps your death wave if you're farming, and then like of course milestones that's gonna help just because of the extra damage. All right, so now we're getting into the trade-off perks, and this is where it's gonna get complicated. Because some of these are gonna be like pretty niche, and it's gonna be like kind of hard to like figure out if you need to use it or not. So the tower damage, but then more boss health. This one is usually good. I think this one's definitely like better for farming. It's just super good for farming with the extra damage, just allowing your death wave to stay up longer. That'll be assuming you're on like a EHP or hybrid build. It could be like worse for glass cannon, but like if you're dying to raise, then this one's probably gonna help you unless the bosses start killing you because of the extra health. So I think yeah, usually this is fine for farming. I do take this for farming. Milestones, this could be bad though if you like, because that's like pretty much GC in the later milestones. Like 8x boss health could kill you if you're not careful, but the extra damage is really nice against elites. So yeah, you just have to like kind of determine what you're dying to, and like kind of trying to balance that out. Coin trade-off. So yeah, even in farming, like you lose all this health, but of course it's gonna be worth it. You get pretty much 2x the coins. It's definitely worth it to take this. Your gains are just not gonna be as good. not taking this. Of course, you don't want this at all for milestones. It's just not going to help you. You're not looking for coins there, so yeah. I mean, it actually doesn't really do anything if you're on like the higher tier milestones. So like that would be for 14, 15. If you're using health at all, this is just definitely don't want to take it, but it actually doesn't really do anything for like glass cannon milestones. So I mean, yeah, it could be good then, I guess, for extra coins. You're not gonna make that much, but I mean, why not, you know? So this one's pretty interesting. Enemies have minus 55% health, but then you lose 90% of your health regen and life steal. This one, if you're glass cannon for either farming or milestone, this one's it's super good. You definitely want to always take this. You generally don't really want to take this if you're hybrid or EHP, but I think if you don't use regen, right, it's really good. So if you're relying on package health for like tier 14, 15, then this one would be good then. But if for farming, like wall farming, you definitely don't want to take this at all. It hurts a lot. There are some things you can do with this, and then also taking this, like get some of that regen back. It's like kind of pretty niche strategy. Yeah, most people just want to do what I said before. 50/50 is pretty simple actually, besides like EHP milestones. So yeah, like glass cannon, you never want to take this. It's just gonna hurt you. You just get 50% less damage for nothing in return. If you're complete EHP, this is perfect. You'd always want this. Hybrid, I actually do take this for hybrid farming. I do take this at the end of the run, just to extend it, because I do actually pretty much rely on health by the end. So the extra survivability is pretty nice there. And yeah, you don't want to take this at all for like glass cannon milestones. And then hybrid milestones, it's a little tricky. You just have to figure out like balancing your damage and health. You just have to figure out like which one's gonna fall off first. Yeah, so that one's pretty situational. You just have to like figure that out. So this perk is, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it does that much anymore. If you have permanent black hole, it's really not gonna affect anything. If you don't know, it could be good. If you're able to keep the ranged enemies back. Yeah, generally it doesn't really have any downsides. If you're glass cannon, definitely this one's always good no matter what, just because you don't care about the enemy damage, right? So this one will be, super good, I guess, but it still doesn't really affect the gameplay at all. This perk, always good for glass cannon, because once again you don't care about enemy damage at all. And then the enemy speed is pretty nice for if you're still trying to kill stuff. Still in that phase here run. Then the speed reduction is pretty good for milestones. It could hurt farming a little bit. I don't think it would have actually affected that much, even with a glass cannon farming. If you are glass cannon farming, this could be good though to help you survive longer, I guess. Just because you need to kill everything and you can't let anything hit you. But yeah, definitely take this for milestones. Unless there's a chance that it might be bad if you're doing a hybrid milestone run, tier 14 to 15. But yeah, it's just like a balance of figuring out. Can you take this without sacrificing too much of your health? Just something you'd have to test. Cash per wave. This one, it really doesn't matter once you max everything with cash. You definitely don't want to take it before you're maxed. You have everything maxed. I just have it banned though, just so I don't have to deal with that. But yeah, it doesn't. I guess it would hurt your lifetime cash if you really cared about that. But yeah, it does not affect your gameplay once you max everything. So this one's really interesting. The tower, you get a lot of health regen, but you lose some max health. I actually do take it for farming. I use Wormhole, so my tower health also uses regen, so the extra regen's super nice just to help there. I haven't actually tested without it, but I feel like it would be pretty similar. Definitely wouldn't want to take this for a hybrid milestone run, though. If you're not using regen there, right? So, you just lose health that you need. And then, yeah, like I said, you can kind of make it work with this one, so you get the lower enemy health, but then you also, kind of keep your regen, but you also do get less health, tower max health. That's pretty specific though. It's a little interesting thing you can do though if you want more regen with that perk. Then we have boss health minus 73.5, but then plus 50% boss speed. Just based off the math, this one's good. They lose almost 3/4 of health, but then they only gain 50% speed. So according to that math, this is good to take just for killing bosses. But if you're relying on killing bosses with orbs for a milestone run, then this would be bad in that case. Any other cases is pretty good. Really doesn't matter that much with an EHP build, but I guess it's nice for keeping your death wave up. Yeah, good for glass cannon farming and stuff. Then the last perk, Lifesteal. You gain 2.75 lifesteal, then less knockback force. Of course, this is just not good for milestones at all. In any milestone run, this is just not good. Just because you need the knockback force to keep stuff back. Mostly scatters. Or if you don't have permanent black hole, you definitely need it then. And then lifesteal is pretty much useless, right? So I actually do take this for farming, just because I don't use knockback force in farming. Just to make sure vampires can hit my wall and die to thorns. But yeah, I mean, it's fine for farming if you don't use knockback force. I guess that goes for everything, so it's pretty much a factor if you use knockback at all. If you do, then don't take it, but if you don't use it, then it doesn't do anything. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much a summary of like when perks are good, when they're not good, different scenarios. Because I mean, it's pretty complicated. Yeah, some of them work together, some of them like kind of counter each other. So yeah, just getting a balance of that is pretty good to know. So yeah, if you have any questions on the perks, feel free to leave them in the comments. I hope this video helped you if you had questions on perks. So yeah, see ya.